Hello. What's going on, everybody? Sorry for the delay. We had some technical issues here. So we are live here now. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy holidays. Let's wait a bit to see if we can get the other guys to join, and then we can get started here. So let me know where you're tuning in from, and then so that we can say hi to you. Welcome everybody to the live stream. I hope you are ready to trade tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be exciting trading day. Still going to be in the low volume market, but I think we're still going to get some moves here and there. Low volume market. Okay, so let's check out what the futures is doing right now. Let's see how the futures is faring overnight here. So the S&P 500 is up by 5 points. The Nasdaq, let's see. Nasdaq is up by 29 points. Okay. The YM, Dow Jones Industrial, is also up by, it's also green. Let's check out the commodities. Silver is down. Okay. And gold, let's check out what gold is doing. GC futures. Gold is also down. Okay. Then let's check out what Bitcoin is doing. So Bitcoin is up by a few points. And then let's check out what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum is also up. So everything is up except the metals that were strong yesterday. Okay. So now let's go to the economic calendar to check out what is coming up this week here. So right now we are in the, where is this stuff? So that's 29th, tomorrow is 29th. So we have Monday's pending home sales. That's not going to be a big deal. Tuesday we have Chicago. This one is not going. So the main event is going to be this. This is going to be the Fed minutes for the month of December. So in this minutes, we are going to see how the Fed members were thinking before they voted on the rate cuts in December, right? Are they sounding more like hawkish or bullish or whatnot, like hawkish or dovish? Do they think that more interest rate cuts is warranted in 2026? Those kinds of things. So we'll get that details on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we are going to get initial jobless claims, which is going to come in. Like, I mean, these numbers I don't think is going to be a big deal because these numbers are going to come in good anyways, right? Like anytime there's a holiday going on, these numbers are usually pretty good, right? So yeah. And then New Year's Day is just going to be just New Year's Day, and then Friday is going to be December 2nd. Nothing is scheduled. So that's about it for the economic calendar. So the only things that are really critical are going to be December 30th, that's the minutes, and then this one, initial jobless claims. All the other ones are just regular stuff. It's not really going to do much, right? And in a low volume market, it's not really going to do much because these numbers are usually going to come in favorable anyway in the holiday season. Okay. All right. So now let's look at what is coming up this week here and how the market is coming up. So right now I'll take you guys to the S&P 500. Let's go to the SPY. So if you look at the SPY closely, I don't think this one I'm looking for. It's not the chart here. Okay. So over here, the SPY, switch this back to regular chart. So this is the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, right? And if you look at it closely, you're going to see that we are currently at the top of this parallel channel, right? So this is a 5-year parallel channel. So what I think is going to happen is that eventually we are going to get to that 700 mark or 7,000 mark on the S&P 500, right? So in terms of upside, we have limited upside compared to the downside. Okay, so I believe that this is going to take us to around 700, and then from there we can now go down, right? So this is something that is setting up for a sell-off in January. So in January, once the smart money come back, like right now, what we have is low volume markets, which is driven by retail, right? And retail are usually long buyers, right? So they are neutral to bullish or long buyers, right? Usually, right? So the smart money, when they come back from their holidays, what's going to happen is that they are now going to start selling some of their top like stocks that they made a lot of money from in 2025. They're not going to sell it now, because if they sell it now, they are going to pay taxes on it, right? And so they want to sell it in January. So if you sell it in January, that means that it's going to go into the tax year 2026, not tax year 2025, right? So stocks that have done well are going to sell, right? In early 2026. So if you look at SPY is over here, and I believe that SPY is going to be, we are going to get some kind of correction sometime in January or within the first quarter of 2026, right? I believe that we are going to get some kind of correction. But before then, we are going to get the blow off top. We are going to rally a little bit to 700 or 7,000 in the S&P 500. And then from there, we can go down from there, okay? So over here, we have the, let me go to the SPY here. So SPY has shown some strength, like it showed strength last week. It was remarkable, like it showed strength last week. It gave like, this Friday. So it just had 3 days, so 4 days. So Monday was good, Tuesday was good, and then Wednesday, and then Friday it was like a consolidation day, right? So the SPY has been pushing up higher now, right? So next target for SPY is going to be 692 or 693, and then from there, I believe that is going to go to that magic number of 700, right? That magic number of 700 is something that is really wants to get there. So 700, okay? So if the market is strong, I see SPY getting to this 700 level soon. Okay, right. So then the next thing I'm going to watch is I'm going to watch the VIX, right? Because the VIX is the one that is concerning, because the place that the VIX is is very concerning in the sense that we have, this has come all the way down here. Like we got this, like, so you see that every single time this has come here to this level area, so this $10 level, if the VIX comes to that area, expect a volatility spike. And I believe that volatility spike is going to come in January, right? That volatility spike is going to come in January because, there's no way VIX is going to be at 10 or single digits and not get a reaction from it, right? So expect some volatility from the onset in January. Once the smart money returns, we are going to see that sell-off in the market that is going to at least bring a little bit of fear in the market, so that they can shake people off a little bit and then move it back up, right? So over here, I see that based on what we've seen here, based on this pattern that we've seen here, every single time we came to this $10 level or even this $12 level, we've seen like a spike in VIX, right? So if we see that happen again, then we are going to see that push up to the upside. So over here, yeah, I have a very bad code, guys. So worry about that often and stuff. So over here, you have this here, you have this like trend line here that holds this. I'll just put it this way, and yeah, so you can see that this is coming down here. Anytime the VIX is at below 15, it means that there's complacency in the market. So if the smart money returns, they are going to say, you know what, now like the market is S&P 500 is too high. We need to hit it down. It needs to go down. Retail has been pushing this up. That's not how it has to be. Boom. Then they start selling, right? Once the market starts selling, the S&P starts selling, then you are going to see the VIX spike. So this is not a coincidence, right? So anytime you see something like this, you just have to be wary of longs, because and buying longs, like buying longs here is like risky, right? Because this is at a critical level. This is a 5-year trend line, right? This is the bull market highs of 2021. And then if you extend it, it brings us here, right? So if we break out, I mean, the next target can be 700. And then from there, we might get that push to the downside. So this can go further. Like it can go to 7,500 on the XPS or 750 on the SPY. But just know that the longer it goes, the more the sell-off is going to be, right? So if we have to get the sell-off early, like, let's get it early, get it downward so that we can get that pullback, and then we can recalibrate and push up, right? So that's something that I'm going to be watching in January, right? Right now, I believe that retail is programmed to be neutral to bullish, right? Neutral to bullish, right? So you are going to see the market melt up. It doesn't mean that every single day is going to be green. It means that most of the time we are going to get green days, okay? All right. So then this brings me to the QQQ. So QQQ, or the Nasdaq, has been struggling. It's interesting that the Nasdaq, which has been the leader in this market for the entire year, is showing it's slow, right? It's not moving. Last week the Nasdaq barely moved, right? If you look at it, see, this is the entire week, right? If you compare that to SPY, look at that. SPY did a very nice move. Look at that, nice green candle. But the QQQ, which is the tech heavy QQQ, like where all the tech stocks are, barely moved. So I believe that the QQQ is due for a breakout. I don't know what is going to happen. It could happen this week, but if it happens this week, I'm not going to be surprised, right? So the tech stocks have to wake up, right? And so if you look at this, like if you connect this trend line here, look at this. So we have this trend line over here, and then you connect this area. You can see that we have like a breakout about to happen, right? So this is on a weekly time frame. So if you're able to crack above this area here, this 625, this is going to squeeze to the upside, and this can take us to 630 in no time, right? Next target is going to be here, and then here, all-time high. So QQQ is due for a breakout. It's like a ticking time bomb. It needs that juice to push, right? So don't be surprised to see a rally in QQQ this week, because most people are not going to be checking because the SPY is already at all-time highs. So attention will move to the QQQ, right? So again, there's limited money in the system now because the smart money are not available to trade, right? So there's small liquidity that is in the system. Last week went to the precious metals like silver and gold. So this week, if we see a move from silver and gold, which I'm going to cover here, back into the stock market and crypto, then you are going to see that move happen, right? So that's why I showed you guys the futures market, right? So the futures market is showing you what is about to happen already. So already they're showing their intent early, right? just like just a small move, but they are showing their intent that they are intending to move money from the precious metals, which were rallying significantly last week, into the equities market and also into the crypto market soon, right? Okay. So here, I expect the QQQ to push up like this week, right? Yeah. So I expect the QQQ to break above 625. If it's able to break above 625, then next target is going to be 628. Then from 628, it's going to go up to this area here, and then it's going to go to all-time high. So this is long overdue, right? This is due for a breakout. It could happen this week, or if not, next week once the smart money return after the holidays, right? So QQQ is going to be a watch for me, key watch for me this week for day trading as well. So what about the DIA? So DIA showed some good strength on last week. It did this move here. So with the DIA, what I'm seeing here with the DIA is that it's so doing a bullish consolidation, right? So if we're able to see, so I believe that the DIA is going to make new all-time highs this week, right? So we got the SPY make new all-time highs. DIA will follow. It's going to be the second, and then QQQ will follow later, right? But QQQ, I believe, is going to rally this week and do a good move. So with DIA, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break of this highs. 487, 57, like 488. If you can break 488, then we are going to go to the all-time highs. All-time highs over here, okay? All right, so that's DIA. Okay. So IWM is also like a forgotten man. It went to all-time highs and then came back down. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, we could see a rally in small cap stocks in January, in what is called the January effect play. Sometimes the stocks that have been beaten down in January, like all throughout 2025, those guys catch a bit, right? So maybe that's where we are going to see IWM push up, right? So for IWM, what am I watching? So I'm watching this here. I'm watching to see if IWM is able to wake up, at least is that the 20. I mean, the last time it came to this 20, what did he do? He bounced, right? So are we going to get a similar move, a similar bounce to the upside, right? So if he can do that, then it's going to be good, and he's going to push this up to the upside, okay? So IWM can also go out, but I'm mainly watching the QQQ and the DIA here this week, okay? All right, so now let me go to the precious metals, which has been the story of last week. Like, I mean, if you compare all the ETFs, silver ETF has been the best performing ETF of the year, which is crazy. Nobody believed that. To the extent that now precious metals investors are making fun of crypto investors. It's crazy, right? Who knew that silver would just come from behind and come and photo finish everybody, right? So silver has done a fantastic job. So yeah, I did an analysis on silver. So let me go to silver here. Show you guys the analysis I did on silver. So silver is looking really, it's parabolic, right? Yeah. So I'll, in order to make this analysis easier, I would use the log chart, logarithm chart to do this over here, right? So if you go to, so over here we have, this is the bear market lows of 2021 to the bear market lows of COVID lows, and then if you extend it, the parallel channel will bring you somewhere here at 122. But I believe that this week silver is due for a pullback. This is due to one of the characteristics of market tops, right, that I use to short stocks. I'll show you guys what it is, right? So I like to be in place like this, whereby I'm in a short play, because the probabilities for me is higher compared to if I'm going long at this position, right? So don't be surprised to see silver sell off this week. or a pullback, not sell-off, like a pullback, right? It gets like a pullback and then it cools off a bit. And then, so when that cool off happens, that means that liquidity or money flow is going to move from silver or the commodities into equities, right? You see that all the tech stocks were not going anywhere last week. All of them were down. The Nvidia was not doing well. Everything was down, right? It was like crazy. Like I said, what's going on, right? So you could see that the liquidity, the money has moved from the tech stocks into precious metals. So if that money is moved from precious metals, then it has to find a new home, right? That new home is going to be either the tech stocks or crypto, okay? So here, so if you look at this, so how far can this go? Yeah, it can come all the way here to this area, okay? It can come to this top here. That is the top of this parallel channel, okay? And then also, if you look at the, if you go to the ETF, SLV, by the way, this is the best performing ETF over the year, right? SLV. So here, those that have taken our course, this is a Y state, right? So the distance between where the ticker is trading, or the ETF, and the 20, and then the 200 is in the Y state, right? Also over here, you can see that we are currently, this volume here, this is some of the things that I used to short, like stocks that are parabolic and are very, very extended to the upside. So if you look at this, where is the highest volume, right? The highest volume is here. So if you go back, the other time we got a high volume like that was when, which could rival this, was 2022. And that even was not as high. So usually at market tops, when you are super extended, the last candle is where a lot of people pile in because of FOMO, right? And then boom, they flip it on them, flip it to the opposite direction, right? That's what happens. So if silver starts showing weakness this week, I'm going to look to short silver, right? And I'll target the gap fill. I'm just looking for something simple, no complication, right? I'm looking for the gap fill. If I can get the gap fill, I'm happy. Anything else is just a cherry on the cake, right? So that's what I'm looking for here. And these characteristics, these things meet my criteria for a short, right? That is if it triggers. If it doesn't trigger, then we can ride it up to the upside until it gets to that point where it triggers. So this is the highest volume so far. That was on Friday. That was really huge volume, right? So anytime you get those kind of huge volume, it tells you that the end is near. And this in a super wide state. So usually when you get something like this, the pullback or collapse is very devastating, right? So you could get like a long red candle that comes and wipes out this green candle and fill this gap. So that's what I'm going to be watching. See here, this is the highest candle on the weekly, right? This is a weekly time frame. So if you look at it, the similar thing happened with let me see if I can pull this one, this stock here. Let me see, Sandex, I think. SK Sandex. Let me see if I can find it. There was a stock that did that. Okay. So over here we had, okay, so here we had Sandex. It went all the way up and then it did this and it sold off. So similar idea kind of thing, right? So silver, if silver SLV, you know, if it triggers this week, then I'm going to look to take a put on this, targeting the gap fill over here, right? So over here, we are going to target the gap fill. So $65 puts or whichever, $70 puts to the downside, and then your stop loss is above this over here. Stop loss is here. So if for any reason you go into a short and the daily candle comes and wipes you out, then you're out, right? You're out of the trade. If daily candle closes above here, then you're out, right? So you can either day trade this or swing trade it. But if you're swing trading it, you want to use the daily candle, right? So over here, I'm looking for a gap fill. So if I can get this gap fill here, that'll be fantastic, right? On silver. Okay. Then the next one that I'm going to watch is gold, GLD. GLD, gold, GLD. Where is it? Let me go to gold here. So gold still has some more upside. Gold is behind. So if you look at gold, let me go to the weekly, daily. So for gold, what I'm looking at is I see that this has moved this way and here. So it still has some room to come here. So if it can come to the 4,700 or 4,800 mark. When it gets there, it can blast through and then possibly get to that. I mean, so most analysts are saying this is going to go to, 4,900, $5,000, right? So we shall see if that happens this year, right? But what I'm seeing here is that this still has room, and it still has more room to the upside, and it could happen anytime soon. Okay. So for the GLD, if you look at the GLD, if you look at the GLD here, GLD is this. So GLD. So we have this trend line here, and this. So we still have more room, right? So we can still push to the upside to this area. So this thing still has room to push. So if it can break above 418, it's going to push up to the upside. Okay. So that's for the precious metals. Then next one, platinum. Platinum is also part of the precious metals family. So with this one, just go to the regular chart. So this one is just crazy. Like, it just went all the way. Like, if you go to the monthly chart, weekly chart here. So platinum, this is the bear market lows. Bear market lows here. You form a parallel channel. It came and it tagged it, right? So this is due for a short, right? This is a high probability short. See. So already you are seeing a red candle here, right? So here, this, you can play this using the ETF. There's an ETF for it. The ETF is called what's it called? PPLT. If you want to trade platinum, right? So PPLT, if we can, PPLT, then we can come here and fill this gap, right? You have a gap here to fill. So all these metals, right? If they start pulling back, we are going to fill the gaps, right? So PPLT could be one of them. And we have multiple factors showing that, okay, this is due for a sell-off, right? Is due for a sell-off. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is a good one for a play. So if you look at the platinum this year, you can see that this is a parallel channel. And if you go to the monthly time frame, you see that it came here and it blasted through, and now it's coming to this top of this channel. So it tagged it on Friday, but now it's looking to pull back. So we'll see how it goes this week, whether it can hold or whether it's going to sell, whatever it does, right? Anyway, we'll be ready to execute on it. Okay. All right. So now let me go to crypto and look at what crypto is doing. Crypto has been in the wilderness for some time now, right? It's like it's been struggling. Bitcoin and things have been struggling, right? So let me take this out here. Bitcoin. So if you check out Bitcoin here, this is the Bitcoin chart. If we go to the weekly, that's how the weekly looks like. And let me go to the daily. So Bitcoin has been consolidating here for some time in this bear flag setup. It needs to find a way to clear this bear flag, right? So over here, this is a bear flag. And then here we have this here. So it's been trading here, right? So Bitcoin needs to master some strength to be able to push above this area, right? Which is going to bring us to the $100,000 mark, right? If it's able to do that, then we can get a move to the upside. But for now, nobody is buying crypto, right? Nobody's buying crypto. Everybody's focusing on the precious metals, right? They're focusing on the silver and gold, platinum, etc. So if some of that money moves from those precious metals, I think it's going to find a home in crypto, and that's going to help crypto to rally. So we shall see how that plays out. But crypto is, I think we might see some kind of a push this week here to maybe 90,000 and up, right? So here we have, if you look at this, here we have this trend line here. Whoops. Yeah, we have this trend line. So if this is able to break above this, then yeah. So it breaks above this, then we go to the 50, and then from the 50 we'll go to the upper area here of this bear flag. But it needs to find a way to invalidate the bear flag. The longer it stays on, then most likely we are going to break down and head to this area, which is going to be this area. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next ticker is Ethereum. Ethereum. Yeah, so so here's this thing, Ethereum, right? So it's been going up and bouncing here every single time. So it must find a way to hold this level here. Hold here and then bounce, right? If it fails, then if this fails, then we are going to go down here, over here, right? So yeah. ETH. All right, so I'll go to the stocks that I have now, go through them quickly, and then we'll wrap this up. So the first one I have is Apple. So, this stock has been, trading well and is holding this 50 here anytime it comes here. So I believe that it needs to hold here again. And then push up. However, if it fails, then we are going to head to the 100 SMA, right? It's going to head to the 100 SMA. So with Apple, here is going to be like it's called 275. So if Apple can rise above this 20 SMA this week, it's going to push up. If it can do that, right? If it can rise above this 20 SMA level, then it's going to push up for a nice long trade, right? Also, another stock that I have is Enphase. So this stock has been beaten down all year long. So in January, usually stocks that have been beaten down, they so you get this here, you get this one here, this here. This has been like going down, right? I believe that it's going to finally recover, not like recover everything, but it's going to get a bounce sometime soon in the new year, right? So typically what happens is that there's something called January effect plays, and January effect plays are when you have stocks that have been beaten down a lot. In January, the smart money jump in and try to give those, like, buy those stocks, and then they rally them up a bit, right? So I believe that Enphase is going to be one of those stocks that I'm going to be watching in 2026. And those in our swing trading service, we have traded this a lot of times, and it's been nice. So here, this here is the weekly time frame. So if you look at this, every single time it came here, it's like it's bouncing, right? So if it can just do this, then it's going to go up. So one stock that I'm going to be watching for 2026 is Enphase, right? So if you go to the daily, you can see how it looks like, right? So here, if Enphase can, can break above this 100 SMA, because you see every single time it's still a struggle. Every single time it comes close to this white line, so this is the 100 SMA, right? 100 SMA is the white line. Every single time it comes close to it, it just goes down. So what's going to happen is that if it can break it, if it can finally break through it, then it's going to squeeze, and it's going to get to the 200, and then it's going to push up, right? So these type of plays, this has been like, consolidating here for some time, and I believe that it's going to just push up at some point and go. So Enphase is a stock that I'm going to be watching in January, right? I'm going to be watching Enphase closely for a push to the upside. Another one I'm going to be watching for a January effect play is Dollar General, right? So Dollar General, if you look at this is the weekly time frame. This is an inverted and shoulders, right? So here, this is an inverted and shoulders pattern, and if you're able to break here, if you're able to break this, if you're able to break see here, if you're able to break up across this trend line, then this thing is going to push up and come somewhere here, right? So Dollar General is also going to be one of my January effect plays that I'm going to be looking to trade here in January, right? So once we clear, so this is at the deep value zone because it's trading below the 200 SMA, right? So this is at a huge discount, right? So if the US economy is to go into a recession, right, these stocks are going to do well, like Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store. So this is your local dollar store, okay? They are going to do well. So this is the right time to buy these stocks for positioning for 2026, okay? So this is a nice play for 2026 play. So immediately we go above here, then it's off to the races, right? So, okay, all right. Then another one I'm going to be watching is you can also add dollar tree. Like dollar tree is the same thing, like dollar tree. But so dollar tree is an interesting one. It's much stronger than dollar general. So it did this move and then it came here. So if this can hold, then it's going to push and break out, right? It's going to break out from here and go. Okay. It's going to break out here. But I like the dollar general one because that one is cheaper, right? Not cheaper, but it's at the deep values of Black Friday sale, right? So if you can get it at that price, then you know that you're buying it at the lows of the lows, right? Then you can ride it up. And if the US economy is going into a recession, then these things will be trading at an all-time high. And then there's also targets, right? Targets. So targets has gone through a lot, and it's ready for a recovery, right? It's ready for a recovery. So what I'm looking at is that I like this play as a recovery play, right? So if this, so here, if we break above this 200 and this 50 SMA, we are going to go to the 100 and then the 20. So this is also in a deep value zone, whereby it's Black Friday sale. So you can buy it, you can hold it, and allow it to play out in your favor, right? Because if you're buying it here, you know that you're buying it at a very big discount, right? This is a discounted price, and you can hold it and profit from it, right? And that stock that I'm also watching is SoFi, right? SoFi Technologies, right? So some of those, what's it called? Student loans and stuff are due for payment next year. So this is going to help a company like SoFi to do well. So if that's the case, then I believe that SoFi can break out and make new all-time highs. So SoFi could be a $40 stock, $50 stock in no time. Okay. So over here, if you look at this, this forming, yeah. So over here, if this can break out of this area, then we are going to get like this to move to like $40, $50 and up. So SoFi is a stock that I'm going to be watching for next year as one of the stocks that are going to do well next year, right? So here, SoFi is on my radar as well. Okay. Yeah, and also Netflix. Netflix is, has been selling. It's now at the 100 SMA here. If you go to the daily charts, it's like it's just destroyed, right? So is this stock going to hold, or is it going to just continue selling, right? So over here we have the 100 SMA here. So I believe that this 100-week SMA must hold. If this holds, then we are going to start getting a bounce in Netflix, and it's going to push up. So Netflix, from highs to where it is now, it has lost this amount, right? So now, if it holds this area, then it's going to push up, right? So Netflix is one that you can watch for a bounce. So again, in January, you are going to be seeing these stocks start recovering, right? And the smart money is going to just push it up and push it to the upside. Okay. Another one as well that was demolished is Oracle. So Oracle is also going to be a January effect play as well. So Oracle, as you can see here, this is at the 100, right? So Oracle is an AI play. It just got demolished, right? So Oracle, I believe, is going to catch a bit sometime soon. It needs to clear this area and then go, right? So if Oracle can do that, then, you know, so Oracle is also going to be a stock for January, right? January effect play, and it's going to push up to the upside, right? Okay. So yeah, so these are the key stocks that I'm watching here. So I'm just giving you guys tips of stocks that I'm going to be watching in January. And these ones I'm going to be like, you know, positioning myself to be able to capitalize on them once the smart money jumps in, right? And also oil. Oil did not do well last year. I believe that oil will catch a bit. So I like Oxy Petroleum, right? Occidental, sorry. This is Occidental, this one. Occidental, right? I mean, this stuff is selling, is in a bear flat, and it's selling so far, but I believe that once oil catches a bit, so again, this is a weekly time frame, it's trading below the 200, so it's at a deep value zone, right? So if oil is able to recover, like crude oil is able to recover next year, then this could possibly, okay. So right here, you see here, there's the bottom here, bottom there, bottom here as well, bottom here. Okay, so this area here is something where price can bounce. So if price start bouncing here, I believe that once crude oil recovers next year, we are going to see Occidental do well, right? So this another 2026 play that I'm looking at for oil. Anything related to oil, I'm going to be trading using OXY. Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's about it for tonight. And yeah, so we're still having our sale. Our sale is still going on. So everything so all our courses, our subscription is on sale now. So you can use the promo code holidays to get the sale price. Okay. Yeah. So, and then also we also have the event coming up on January 20th, which is the Zero Risk to Riches Challenge. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. So if you've not signed up, please make sure you sign up, or please make sure you share the link with your you know, your friends and family to sign up. And so this is going to be free of charge, so you don't need to worry about it. Just, you know, so we are going to do it's going to be 3 days. First day we are going to deal with master foundations. Day 2 is going to be options. Day 3 analysis, and then day 4 is going to be bonus. If you want to come to trade with us live, you can join us live as well. Okay. Yeah. So share this with your network, share this with your friends and family, so that they can sign up and join us as well. Okay. All right, guys. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I will sign out now. Yeah. So I will see the other guys in the live day trading room tomorrow. So yeah, so if you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat so that I can answer them quickly, and then we can wrap up here. Okay, so I don't think I'm seeing any questions here. So yeah, so if there are no questions, then have a good night, guys. We shall meet again on Sunday next week, or those that we trade with live. Those that I trade with live, we are going to trade live tomorrow morning in the live day trading room. Okay. All right. Have a good night. Bye for now. Happy holidays.